federal agents with rifles on Michigan Avenue, protesters clashing with ICE in the suburbs, and now, a leaked memo reveals the Trump administration wants to send 100 troops into Illinois. Governor J.B. Pritzker calls it an attack on neighborhoods. Mayor Brandon Johnson says it's an absolute disgrace. So, is this about public safety or politics and power? Tonight we break down what's happening in Illinois, why it matters, and how it connects to a much bigger fight playing out across America. Here's what we know. The Illinois National Guard learned that the Department of Homeland Security sent a memo to the Pentagon, requesting the deployment of 100 troops to protect ICE facilities in Illinois. No one knows yet whether those troops would come from the Illinois Guard, other states, or even active-duty military. But the request comes just days after armed federal agents were spotted downtown, marching along Michigan Avenue. Governor Pritzker didn't mince words. This is not about safety. This is about sowing fear, intimidation, and consolidating power in Donald Trump's hands. The request follows weeks of escalating confrontations. In Broadview, outside the ICE processing facility, protesters have been met with tear gas, pepper balls, and even rubber bullets. Over the weekend, CBS Chicago journalists covering the protests were hit with chemical agents. Reporter Asal Rezai says an ICE officer deliberately fired a pepper ball into her truck, burning her face and forcing her to vomit. Protesters say ICE agents have been arresting ordinary people, street vendors, delivery drivers, even families with children. Video shows federal agents detaining a mother and her kids right in the heart of downtown Chicago. Pritzker and Mayor Johnson both argue the crackdown has nothing to do with fighting crime. Instead, they say Trump is militarizing cities for political theater. Mayor Johnson put it bluntly, this is about money, politics, and power. He wants armed conflict as a pretext to send even more federal agents. Meanwhile, some local officials, like Alderman Raymond Lopez, are calling for all sides to at least sit down and talk. He warns that if troops arrive, their orders must be strictly limited to protecting agents and property, not policing communities. And this isn't just playing out in Illinois. Oregon has already sued the Trump administration over similar troop deployments in Portland. California sued earlier this year, and a federal judge ruled that deployment illegal. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul says his office is preparing for a lawsuit of its own if the Pentagon moves forward. We are prepared, Raoul said. Our lawyers are already coordinating with Oregon's. So legally, politically, and on the streets, this fight is far from over. Supporters of the administration argue troops are needed to protect ICE officers and federal property. Critics warn this is the federal government turning its weapons on its own people. And here's a shocking statistic. According to Pritzker, 60% of the people ICE detained in Illinois this year had no criminal convictions at all. For families, vendors, and workers downtown, this isn't about crime. It's about survival. For journalists, it's about the freedom to report without being targeted. And for officials, it's about whether Washington has the power to override state governments and put boots on the ground in American cities. This battle in Illinois is part of a larger pattern. Deployments in Portland, Los Angeles, and now Chicago. Each time the same questions come up. Who decides when federal troops can patrol U.S. streets? How far can immigration enforcement go before it becomes racial profiling? And at what point does protecting America turn into dividing America? Governor Pritzker calls it intimidation. The Trump administration calls it security. But the truth may depend on where you stand. Troops on our streets, journalists attacked, families detained in broad daylight. This isn't just another political fight, it's about what kind of country we want to live in. So tell us, do you think deploying federal troops makes Illinois safer or more dangerous? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the stories shaping our future.